What is up, guys? Welcome back to Late Night Shots Podcast, episode 89. Nationals just happened. We're gonna do a recap. Sorry, it's a couple days too late. My laptop just the battery kind of just fried. So we're back at it. Derek's here with us, so you want to just hop right into it?
All right. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to, the podcast. His laptop decided to die on us. RIP. So RIP, that thing has created, I think everybody could agree, that thing has created some amazing content for us. So we'll have to give it a good send away.
Yeah.
That thing created the first 100K TikTok followers, created the first 40K Instagram followers. That laptop did 88 episodes of the Late Night Shots podcast. You can't blame it. It was old. It was decrepit like both of us, and it decided to, move on to another life. Sadly, we're both stuck here. So let's break down this year's NCAA tournament.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get started at 125. Nick Sirianni. But I mean, it was a bloodbath. Not gonna lie, dude. If Glory keeps the same stuff up next year, he'll give Lee a solid match. But I think the biggest story of this weight class is Vito going down the semis. Glory beat Vito 11-9 earlier in the year at the dual meet. Vito almost teched Glory in the EIWA finals 19-6, I want to say. And then Glory was out for revenge, got it back. Pat Glory, if you're seeing this, please unblock me on Instagram. But he gave Sirianni a match. Maybe he just gassed me and score really any offensive points. But all Jersey final, it was a bloodbath. And I'm not picking Sirianni to come out on the other side of that. So it's obviously who's gonna come out on top. Pat McKee goes down in the first round again. And he All-American again. Hildebrand 1-2. Devin Schroeder 0-2. Lost to Sam Latona round 1, McKee round 2.
What happened where'd Heinzelman end up from Ohio State? Did he All-American?
Kind of rough, I think. No, he didn't. I know Killian Cardinal lost in the blood round, which was big.
What about the kid from Northwestern?
Fourth.
Good. I liked him a lot this year.
Yeah,
I think he had a lot. Agostino, he had a lot of improvement.
Yeah, he got kind of dumpstered on by Vito, though. I was low-key scared for McKee versus Vito. I'm not genuinely I shouldn't be, but McKee and the Wrestlebacks is a scary man. But yeah, so Sirianni champion. Courtney had a solid showing. He gave Sirianni a lot better run than I genuinely thought he would, 4-1. He's also shown a lot of improvement from last year. He's not the same dude who got there by luck. He was there based on skill this time. But yeah, 133. Yeah. I'm a Penn State fan. I'm happy for RBY. He's a 2-time national champ. It's great to see. 3-time All-American. On the other side of things, rough.
You gotta feel for Santo.
Genuinely rough.
We're
talking about Santo. All right.
I genuinely feel bad that this is the end of the DeSanto career.
Dude, I don't know who I feel worse for, DeSanto or Fix.
Both of them. You got to feel for both of them. Rough. Fix, 3-time finalist, zero wins in the finals, 3-time NCAA
zero.
You don't see that often.
0 takedowns in the finals.
Yeah.
4 career losses, 1 to Nick Sirianni, 2 to RBY, 1 to Mickey Philippi. He has 2 more runs at a title. Hopefully he gets one of those done, genuinely. Hopefully RBY doesn't come back for that exact reason. I'd love to see him back, though, honestly. DeSanto's been a good career. I don't know genuinely what he can really do on the freestyle scene, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see for that.
He's going to try. I think obviously he's going to try to make an attempt.
I just think 61 may be a little bit too talented for him. I think Fix kind of puts it on him. Then you have a Soriano, then you have a Nato, then you have a Nashawn Garrett, and all these national champs out for blood, right? You have to assume that RBY might try to make a quick run of the World Team Trials before he heads off to MMA. Or if he comes back, who really knows what happens there? It's like Nittany Lion Wrestling Club has shown they can dominate both folk style and freestyle. So if they send RBY somehow ends up taking off Fix and freestyle, I mean, I doubt it happens, but it very well could, right? Then you've got like Carter Starachi, who Jordan Burroughs already says he's looking out for. And if he has anything like the show me at last World Team Trials, you might see something shocking go down. Again, I doubt it, but you know. But
I mean,
yeah, I think some other big developments there. You know, Michael McKee had solid try from Arizona State, fourth place. Seeded third. I don't think he should have gotten 3 seed over Santa. I think he would have been 3. Santa should have been 3. McGee should have been 4, and Myers should have been 5. But again, at the end of the day, it fell how it was supposed to. So nothing really there. The weight class I want to talk about, 141, right?
yes.
If you look at my Instagram at all, you see me going off about Keyshawn Clark from UNC. So round of 16 takes out national finals Jaden Ironman. Quarterfinals, he takes out someone. Semifinals was a very fun match. He wins off a riding time over Cole Matthews of Pitt, who pulled the upset over Rivera. I know I called that, but he beats Cole Matthews Pitt off of riding time. He says after the match, I didn't even know the rules. And then, you know, I think before the Ironman match, Danny Chad, who we had the podcast here before, I want to say episode 40, commented on my post, wait for this Keyshawn Clark upset. And then another dude said, I want what you're smoking. And then everybody who's on the mat for the match. But we get to the finals. He sends it at Nick Lee.
He does. I give him
He
that.
sends it.
The match starts and he's full blast right at Nick Lee. And I think that kind of shocked Nick Lee a bit because I think he thought he was gonna go in there kind of intimidated,
Yeah.
and he wasn't gonna just fire it off. And he fired from the whistle right into him. And you know, it didn't end up his way at the end of the match. But I mean, if you're UNC coach, you can't really say anything. He got an at-large bid to the tournament.
Yeah.
And then is a finalist and got second and lost to a returning national champ.
0-2 at ACCs. You know, I heard he had
Yeah.
the flu, so that is what it is. You know, he's in law school. Nick Lee's dad offered him a job at his law firm, which is another great thing you like to see. So, yeah, great season for Keyshawn Clark, honestly. I think Chad Red did an All-American, which is another big one.
Yeah.
I don't know who he lost to, but did not place, which is kind of rough, I want to say. Andrew Alirez didn't place. He got pinned in the bloods by Jake Berglund of Minnesota. Those some great wins. Mijic loses in the bloods to CJ Composto of Penn, another Jersey guy. Watched him throughout high school. Jaden Ironman forfeits in his final match, round of 16, which was kind of rough to see. Rivera, after falling to Matthews, does get back onto the podium. You know, he did what he could, honestly. I think he seemed like he was kind of at peace with it. I think Ironman, obviously, I think they got a lot of shit for forfeiting out of Big Tens, but
I think he's genuinely really injured.
yeah, I think him and Rivera both. They were the two guys that wouldn't be like Cassiope just comes to the point where it's like, dude, you're injured, but you're not horrible. I mean, torn MCL is bad, but it's like you wrestling Gable is just bound to make something worse there.
Yeah.
In a match that you just, yeah. In a match that you genuinely just can't win. But it is what it is.
I definitely don't take. I don't take anything away from Ironman. Hit that last match, just it hurt. I think it hurt the viewers to watch him because everybody knows those Iowa guys. Everyone knows they're smash mouth, tough as nails, and to see what he looked like when Mijic got in on his knee and you know started tweaking his knee up, he just kind of looked in the corner dazed at the brands, and he just said he couldn't go, and that sucked. I mean, obviously, you know, we've been watching him for a long time through Mizzou to Iowa, you know, but it's sad to see him get hurt and, you know, to see him not make an All-American push after last year's showing. But I mean, I think him and Mijic, you know, Miocic knew how injured he was. So I don't know. You can't really blame him for medical forfeiting because that's what else do you do there? Like you can't keep going.
Yeah, no, I get that 100%. Comes to a point, 5-4-3-2. Maybe he was destined to make the national title run this year. Sometimes things just don't work out. There were
Because I think
a
a
lot
lot
of
of people
guys who didn't go out with titles. Maybe you could put DeSanto in this, but he hasn't really been the top guy all of his career. You have an Evan Wick, who's All-American every year. You have Alex Marinelli, who's been the number one guy a good amount of times. You have Hayden Idley, who's been national final before. You have Michael Kemmerer, who's been around as long as you can imagine. You have Chad Red, who's, even though he didn't All-American, he's been one of the top guys. Jaden Ironman, top guys, national finalists. Von Miocic made national finals, took third, took fourth too. I think Sebastian Rivera is another big one. I think there's a lot of big names that, maybe just didn't get it done this year. And that genuinely sucks to see, but I think a good amount of them are destined for a decent career on the senior level. So I mean that might be the one plus to this situation.
Yeah, and I think a lot of fans who, are barking at the Iowa guys and they're, talking about how, they've medical forfeited out and everything. They don't really realize that these people have lives outside of wrestling. Like, like you can't put your body through that much and then expect, to be able to finish. Like a lot of people were saying, like the difference between what the Iowa guys look like and what the Penn State guys are looking like in the finals. And the Iowa guys are all taped up and guys are injury defaulting and guys this and like guys are falling. And then you got the Penn State guys who are in moderate health range. They're all pretty healthy. They're happy. Like I don't know. Like we were talking about it before we started recording. Like I just think that Iowa room is it's kill or be killed. So
Yeah,
I
I
think
think another big thing here is, Penn State's young. I think
yeah.
you saw Hildebrand showing it. He was rough.
And he was
Maybe
probably
whether that's due to him cutting a lot of weight, whether that's due to, maybe his body breaking down him. He's old. He lost. It just is what it is, right? You saw maybe Bo Bartlett. I don't know if that's a good example of anything, but he just seems to be in the wrong weight class there.
I think 49 is way too big for Bo Bartlett.
Yeah, 41 next
I
year is
think
gonna be interesting. I think
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a good 41 pounder, get back to that natural weight, that you saw him in high school, and where he was dominant. He had one of the most dominant high school careers out there,
yeah,
and he has been very underproductive for Penn State. He has been.
yeah.
Other than that, really
It's
close
not really
match
his
he had
fault though. I
also.
can't really say
No,
that.
no, he's just not at the right weight. He's not a 49 pounder.
Yeah, but now that we're on the topic of it, 41 next year. Real Woods, Andrew Ramirez, Bo Bartlett. CJ Composto also. I'm a big fan of that dude. Anyways, on to 149. Yeah, Diakomalis. That's is there anything really more to talk about? Dominant fashion.
Dominant.
He wasn't tested once. Everybody had their doubts. We said, maybe for Russell Gomez or Wilson in the finals, he cruises to victory. Once Lovett made the finals, everybody's like, oh, he was 6-6, going into overtime at CKLV. Yeah, Yanni shut that down pretty quick. It was pure domination right there. There's really nothing to talk about. It was a takedown claim. That's what it was. And Yanni was hyped at the end. I think it's the first time I've genuinely seen him that hyped. And deservingly so, right? I think it's good on Lovett for making the finals. Austin Gomez, great to see him back on the podium. Tariq had it rough, but he got back up there. Bryson Doney in third place finish is huge. As 7 seed, I want to say.
Yeah.
Sasso, rough year for him. I think Jonathan Milner had a great tournament from Appalachian State. Guy who's not talked about at all. Pulled the 60. I think a lot of people said he shouldn't have. He looked fantastic. out there. I think it's good to see a lot of these small schools making moves there, but yeah, I don't think there's much talk about 149, right? 57.
Yeah.
Ryan Deacon has finally done it.
Yeah. You can't not be
It's
happy for him. You
it's
can't.
dude, he's been waiting this for a long time. It's genuinely been a long time. You know, you could say maybe he wouldn't have wanted if Carr's there. I think he puts it on Carr, but I
It's
don't
just
think
the size.
anybody I don't think
It's just
anybody at
size.
that
Nobody matches his size.
yeah, I don't think anybody at 157 has been a better wrestler than he has from 2020 till now. I think him losing that season in 2020 hurt a lot. Him getting caught and pinned by Del Vecchia in the semis brought a lot of doubt in people's minds. And I think this year he reminded people who he was and why he was number one and why he's back at number one, right? Quincy Monday making the finals, I think is great. David Carr fell in the round of 16. Rough. I think I was more impressed by the fact that he battled back all the way to third, which is great to see. Monday versus Carr, years to come, is going to be a great battle. You know, sons of two wrestling legends going at it. But I think it was only right that Deacon went out with the title here.
Mhm.
You know, I think other guys who had great performances here, Peyton Robb, fourth place finish, lost to David Carr. Great. He's had a great season, knocked out Fulcana early, went to overtime with Carr at the Dektronics Open. Great to see. Will Lewan coming in fifth. I think it's a guy nobody thought was going to make the podium this year. I think it's a guy people thought were like really underrated because he beat Terrell Bearclaw 5-3.
Mhm.
Right? Man, he beat Ja'Cory Teemer sixth place match. I think the future might be bright for Ja'Cory Teemer, but this was a bad tournament for me. There's no way to put around that. Like, I don't know what to say. I mean, getting majored by Deacon is one thing, but then you lose to Peyton Robb, get bombed by Willie Wan onto your back. Maybe the fatigue played a factor, which I think it did. I think last year he caught fire, and that fourth place finish was impressive. You know, maybe he had Deacon, maybe he didn't. I don't know, but he can definitely make some moves in the future. I think he's destined for another All American finish when the time comes. But Carr versus Monday is what I want to see.
I agree. And then, I mean, you got to talk about the guy who knocked Carr off. I mean, early in the tournament,
Hunter
you know
Willis.
what, Hunter Willits, Oregon State, another smaller school, who hasn't really made a lot of noise as of recent. They came to show. They showed up. I think 4 or 5 All-Americans they had on their squad.
4. And now that we're on the topic of this, Chris Pendleton, Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah, deservingly so. I think for the Coach of the Year award, it's great to see coaches who are actually changing their program get it rather than a Cale Sanderson, even though it'd be great to see that. But that's a school that already has so much success, like Iowa, Ohio State, Michigan, all that. To see these small schools are bringing like them into the picture, right? Because I think it's the NCAA tournaments for the past couple of years may have just been like a bigger Big Ten tournament with a bunch of schools added on, and now you see other schools actually competing, right? You see UNC in the finals at 141. You see Princeton in the finals at 125. The Big 12 in the finals, right? It's not just all the Big Ten. I think there were maybe one Big Ten matchup, one Big Ten finals matchup. That's it. With me and Brooks.
Yeah, that was
And
it.
then there's Dean Warner. That's 2.
Yeah.
That's really it. Make the argument that should have been one heavyweight, but it is what it is. Shaw's is a phenomenal wrestler too. But now we'll get right into 65. Keegan O'Toole is that guy. There's nothing to say about it. I think I would have liked to see Wick at least make the finals. I think he definitely has a good shot of knocking O'Toole off, obviously. But O'Toole did what he had to do, took care of business, won that title. Broke the curse of 165 essentially. Cool. O'Toole's a freshman. I'm not going to say anything. But, it is what it is, right? Seeing Evan White go down early to Shane Griffith, not early in the semifinals the way he did, it's kind of rough, but that may have worked out for the better. I think him getting that win over Alex Marinelli, he won his first match against Alex Marinelli. Now he won the last, right? He won the first one 16-3. He won this one 10-4. Marinelli getting back to third after defeating Cam Amin was also a pretty big one. I think Cam Amin is a guy people don't talk about, right? I think a lot of people wrote him off when he lost to Brady Berge earlier in the year. But Amin's hit list is crazy right now. He has Carson Karchela on his hit list, Dean Hamidi on his hit list, Alex Marinelli on his hit list. Right? He came up short to Keegan O'Toole, but O'Toole's going to be around for a long time in the sport.
Yeah.
O'Toole might just be the successor to like JB or Kyle Dake if things work out, He may be the guy to stop Isaiah Martinez, Jason Knoll from ever winning a world team. I mean, I think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here, but
He's
he's
so
good.
good at that level too.
I think
he's really
can't
good at
count
that
out
level.
Shane Griffith. That was only like a 1-point match. Griffith's going to be back. I think we know that. But to see Wick go out like that it's better to go out with a win, I guess. But Marinelli kind of hurt for the dude, just genuinely 3 times in the quarterfinals. I don't want to say he ever choked because I genuinely don't believe he did. No. But it's just shitty matchups he was given. Right? He pushed Mekhi Lewis, and then Flo starts post like, oh, Mekhi Lewis beat Alex Marinelli way back when, kind of jinx it. Shane Griffith should not have been an 8 seed. And then you give Marinelli the Big Ten title, cool, wins his 4th Big Ten title over Cam, being 2-1. Now you got to wrestle the same dude 2 weeks later. You know how hard it is to be a dude twice in a row when you have that small of a margin? That dude has nothing to lose against you now. And your reputation was also bad in the quarterfinals, and everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants that upset to happen. And then this doubt comes into your head, and then it happened in overtime, right? Loses to Mekhi 3-1 in regulation, loses to Shane Griffith 3-1 in overtime, loses to Cam Amin 3-1 in overtime. It's
3-1. It's always 3-1.
It's always 3-1. 2 of them are overtime, 1 of them in the regulation. It's rough to see, I guess. But I genuinely was scared for O'Toole in that semifinal after Amin pulled the upset. But it is what it is. I think O'Toole, again, is going to be good for a very long time. I think Hamidi's going to be good for a very long time.
We talked about that. We talked about that in our prediction that, he was definitely a finalist. In both of our eyes, we made that agreement that we thought O'Toole was, even though he's young, he is at that level.
Yeah.
And, he got it done,
Yeah, he's a 3rd place All-American next year. I don't think anybody done to make the finals. Carson Karchela, All-American. He's definitely got to watch out for. Only lost O'Toole 2-0. Right?
Yeah. He's really good.
He's good. I think Hamidi's another one you have to watch out for as a true freshman.
With a bright Ohio State room that's going to absolutely explode this upcoming year.
Nick Feldman, Jesse Mendez, Nick Buzakis. Probably some more guys too, right? That's going to be
that room is insane. That Ohio State team, they're going to be a team that you have to watch out for.
Yeah, I think Feldman's going to be probably. I think they're all going to redshirt, but I think, probably going to redshirt. I know for a fact Feldman's probably going to redshirt for the sole fact that, dude, like, you're a potential 4-timer if you redshirt. Right, come out of high school, it's gonna have a lot of doubts. It might just end up the way Gable did, but he'd be the first ever 4-time heavyweight champ. Gable couldn't do it, Snyder couldn't do it, Glizzy couldn't do it. If you do it, you're the best. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But on to 174. I think honestly this is my favorite match in terms of action wise, but maybe I would like to go to another set of rideouts and then sudden victory. But I know a lot of people are talking about the overtime rules. It is what it is there, genuinely. But I think it ended how it did. I think Srirachi was a clear aggressor throughout the entire match and deserved to win that. But I'm definitely looking forward to Mekhi Lewis coming back strong. He said he almost quit halfway through the season. I was glad to see he's still around. Virginia Tech's first ever national champ. Tried to bring home a second title, just couldn't get it done against one guy who's probably going down as one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, greatest collegiate wrestlers of all time. Starachi still has a chance to be a 5-timer, and that was almost shut down by Kyle Lewis, right? Starachi's only lost one match in his career, so that's big. Uh, Hayden Hidley majored Michael Kemmer 12-4 in the third place match, which was, it's good to see Hidley go down and win. I like the dude. He's grown on me over the years, from being in the finals with Jason Off as a true freshman to where he is now. He said came back this year to be with his brother, went a couple weight classes. Didn't end up the way he wanted, but, it's good to see him go out and win, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Sucks to see Kemmer go out on a loss, but I think it was no surprise that he shouldn't have been wrestling this season. His body just died on him, and he knows that. I don't think this is something anybody's going to hold up against him. I respect him coming back, but I think that was the last ever match Michael Kemmer is going to wrestle.
Yeah, no.
It's
I think
nice to see.
he was somebody who wasn't even supposed to wrestle. It came out early, either right when the season started or right before that. He wasn't, they didn't think he was going to make any mat time this year.
Yeah.
And I think, he tried, and, he finished, top 4 in the nation with, the big brace on his arm and the big brace on his leg. And, every time he'd get taken down, you'd see the face he would make. Like, you could tell he was just in pain the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, good for him though. I mean, it sucks, like you said, watching. And I think, we're kind of at that point in our lives being, fans of wrestling for so long that we're starting to see these guys that we, we loved watching, and now all their careers are like slowly starting to end. And it's kind of sad, not gonna lie. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
This nationals was kind of sad to watch a lot of these guys who, you saw every year compete. Now, it's gonna be new faces.
Yeah, no, it's definitely rough, but that's life. NCAA tournament takes no prisoners, I think is what they said. But you're either a victim or a champion. And that leads us to our next weight class, 184. That's exactly what this finals match was. The tougher man was going to win that, and Brooks was the tougher man that day. That's what it is. I think Amin obviously spending more time on the freestyle scene definitely hurt his mat wrestling, but Brooks handled him from the feet also, to be completely honest. He made the right adjustments from Big Tens. Came out on top.
Yeah, I mean, he's Aaron Brooks. A lot of people knew, and they talked about it a little bit before his match in the finals. He got taken down the same way in the Big Ten finals. 3 times, 2 times?
Twice to lose the match.
Twice. He got taken down twice, the exact same attack. And, he knew that that's what was going to be coming. And, he took that loss, and he, took it back to the room with, with guys in that room. I'm sure there's somebody who could replicate that exact same style of wrestling, especially at that weight. There's hammers there. So, I'm sure he went in the room and, drilled that exact moment and that exact, shot that got taken on him over and over again until he knew that he was 100% confident to defend it. And he didn't even let it get available. And I think, he made great adjustments to wrestle, and he, the better man won.
Yeah,
and
he
the way Brooks prepared. Yeah, the way Brooks prepared, he looked like he was the true winner there.
Brooks has one thing on his mind: 4-timer. I've said this before. Is Brooks a true 4-timer if he does it? I say you are a true 4-timer, and Starch's case a 5-timer if you have never lost at the national tournament. Right. I think if you go cases like Marinelli when he lost as a freshman at Big Tens, and they still won 4 titles, I think you have to make that 3. I mean, obviously not going to hit me. He has 4 medals, but in terms of the stat book, that has to be 3. And same thing with nationals. I think Strachey wins 5. He did it. I think Brooks losing his year in 2020 kind of hurt him a lot. I don't think Brooks can be a true 4-time Big Ten champion at this point, but 4-time national champion is all that matters. Follow in the footsteps of Kel Sanderson. I think that's what a lot of Penn State guys are trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that question wasn't asked a lot at press conferences. Like, do you see these guys trying to follow in your footsteps? It was all just like random crap, which didn't make sense to me. But now that we forgot to do the sponsor.
This video is sponsored by Body Art Nutrition. Use code HWTN20 at checkout to save 20% off your order. Pre-workout has just been launched. You can find it, link in the description. Thank you. So 197. I mean,
bro, I don't know how he's gonna feel about that ad.
You had Iowa's Jacob Warner.
Man, I think Jacob Warner had a fantastic tournament.
Oh, he did.
I think
as much as
people were looking.
People were just looking past him. I mean, I think he got overlooked a lot. It was Buchanan. It was this kid. It was that kid. It was who could make noise. And then it was also, you got Dean there. And it was, I didn't think a lot of people really thought about Warner because, I mean, he lost to Dean. He lost to the other guys. So, yeah, he lost to Schultz. Did he lose to Brucky? Did he lose to Brucky?
Brucky did not place, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's another one that hits.
I think this guy, his body broke down on him. It's rough to see, but he had a fantastic career. He still was a 4th place All-American in a 10 times tougher weight class than this.
Yeah.
But, it's great to see Max Dean on top. He's been waiting for this forever. And that moment between Max and Gabe was awesome to see.
Such an emotional moment for him.
You started off as the underdog in 2019. You knock off one of the biggest locks at the tournament in Miles Martin, and then you fall short in the finals. You essentially have your season taken away from you. Your school takes away a year. You end up transferring due to a bunch of bullshit. Your whole entire family is behind you, moves with you. Penn State takes you in, and who would have thought? Now you're a national champ.
They do what Penn State does best. And I love when he posted his post, he mentioned how grateful he was for Cornell because, I mean, you can't say what he learned at Cornell didn't help him win a national title.
I did not even see that post.
Yeah, he mentioned Cornell, and, he was like, he was appreciative of everything, that Cornell did for him before he transferred. So, I mean, I think it's, that moment when he ran up into the stands and hugged his brother, like they were both just like crying. It was such like an emotional moment to see, like, because everybody knows like what he's been through.
Mm-hmm. I want to read this real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I woke up this morning feeling nothing but gratitude for where I am, where I have been, and where I know my life can go with the love and support of many tremendous people I have around me. My dad, mom, brother Gabe, sister Cassie, fiance Hannah, and best friend Coop. Completely aside from wrestling, you guys make life so awesome, and you are all so much better than I deserve. But spending my life striving towards that has pushed me towards being a much better person. I also want to express my thanks to the entire community at Penn State, and more specifically Coach Kale, Casey, Cody, Jimmy, Varner, Mike Schroeder, Adam Lynch, David Taylor, Kyle Snyder, Jason Nolf, Zane Rutherford, Thomas Gilman, Bo Nickel, Beck Zod, Greg Kirkfleet, Aaron Brooks, Carson Rachi, Brady Berkey, Nick Lee, Roman, Drew Hildebrand, Jay Campbell, and so many more. There are many world-class people, and walking this journey alongside him has been surreal. Winning an NCAA title has been a dream of mine since I was a toddler, and your combined effort helped that dream come to a pinnacle last evening. I'm forever in debt and also cannot wait to do it with you guys again next year. I would also like to acknowledge my time at Cornell. While I was not where I ultimately accomplished all my goals, there are a lot of great people there, and they were a part of my path on the way here. I wish them nothing but love and prosperity. Finally, I would like to take a moment to thank God. As brothers and sisters of the world, I know many of us come from different belief systems, but it is undeniable that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. And understanding that is the key to a happy life. While there are hundreds more people that deserve my gratitude, I will end my long-winded message here by saying that I am ecstatic to see what the future holds for all of us, and that I know my best days lay ahead. All love, Max. That was
And if
long
you
as hell.
notice some wordage right there, he can't wait to do it again, which means Max Dean will return at Penn State next season at 197 pounds.
You know what's crazy? No Cornell guys commented on his stuff.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I just thought that was special that he still mentioned it because, he even admits like he wouldn't be there without the help of Cornell.
Does he follow Yanni? Does not follow any Cornell guys.
Who knows? Maybe there's more to why he transferred than than we
The
all
vaccine
see.
stuff, I think, what was part of it.
Huge shout out to Max Dean.
Man,
I think,
I
absolute
think
legend.
this sets up a big super match next year. I think everybody wants to see that now. I
AJ Ferrari.
think people are gonna go right to AJ, but I don't know.
I don't know. And it was Max Dean had a very interesting season because he takes a loss to Cam Caffey, who's up to 197.
He lost twice at nationals too, but we're not gonna mention that.
But like, it's just insane to think like he wins nationals but loses to Cam Caffey from Michigan State.
You have Cam Caffey wrestles up to this competition. He's never gonna get blown out. I remember one time he got teched by actually that's a bad example, but he got teched by Miles Martin and he hits a nasty super duck. Down 6-0 like 20 seconds in. And it was phenomenal to watch. But the big sexies.
A sad moment for the heavyweight nation.
I think every other heavyweight is kind of happy, but we'll stay sad.
Before we start, I'd like to just give a personal moment of recollection. Thank you, Gable Steveson. We're going to clip this and I'm sure we'll post it, but thank you, Gable Steveson, from the bottom of the heavyweight nation hearts. Thank you for everything you've done for the heavyweights. You have truly shown that heavyweights can be sexy and athletic. When you hit the backflip, no one believes you that a heavyweight can do a backflip. You've done it. You're such a handsome looking guy. We love you. You love to kind of, you dip your toe into the heavyweight nation page every so often. You tell it, you kind of like give us a little troll, but we appreciate you. We appreciate everything you've done for the sport and have fun in WWE. Let's hope you come back. If you want to run it back one more time, we wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, I'll be sure to be the 6-time defending national champ by the time you come back.
Yep.
Yeah. Gonna have a super match there. I'll still tech him, but no, but in all seriousness, yeah, it's been fun watching him. These past years, obviously I wasn't the biggest fan when he first started, but there's no denying it. He's one of the greatest to ever did it.
And I think, that kind of secures, and you're going to see a lot of these young heavyweights really look at Minnesota and look at the background they've had. And, they have truly built a heavyweight empire of guys there. They have Brock and Gable now. And it's just like the range is unstoppable at Minnesota.
How you gonna name the best dude and the worst dude? No credit to Tony Nelson or Cole Conner.
Tony Nelson. I was. You didn't have to call me out. I was trying to think of his name, and I couldn't remember.
That's terrible.
So, but I mean, I think it was so fun watching you. Your matches were always exciting. You're always so happy. At the end of the matches. I mean, how can you not be happy when you're blowing your way through every single tournament? Your last 2 years. So. We appreciate it. We love watching you. We love the matches. Kept us on our toes during the NCAAs, kept us on our toes. But You proved that you were that guy.
Yeah.
You were the only lock.
I thought you
You
were
truly
having
were the
tissues.
only lock that we had this year was Gable Steveson a heavyweight, and I think everybody
I
agrees.
mean Yanni, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Well,
Okay. No, I'm just kidding. But as we move on, Colin Schultz made the finals. Shut down those doubts. He deserved the 2 seed. He did. He's a world team member. I don't know why y'all keep disrespecting him, but oh well. Nice to see Jordan Wood back at 3. Obviously it would have been 4 if Kirkley wrestled. I don't think there's no denying that. But great to see him end his career off on the note he did. It's definitely the best tournament I think he's ever wrestled, and I think he's going to hold on there for a while. He's already had a successful career at the freestyle level, qualified for Olympic trials, world team trials. He's had a good showing. Obviously he's going to continue to improve from there. Greg Kirkley wasn't supposed to wrestle nationals, according to Cale Sanderson, but he did anyways. 4th place finish, nothing to be ashamed of. But where he wants to end up next year, and
Gable said it himself.
Yep. There's no doubt to me that it's going to be Kirkley versus Schultz next year, unless Paris has some come back and say something about. But at this point, it's not looking great. Paris taking 5th. I think a lot of people are gonna shit on him for this, but it's a good showing. Like honestly, like the weight class has improved. Like Parrish obviously doesn't have the technique aspect compared to a lot of these guys, but he's good. Like 5th place is not something to be ashamed of. Maybe as a returning national finals is not what you're hoping for. Obviously, maybe if you had Jordan Wood, maybe it's a different story. Maybe he's into the 3rd, 4th match with Kirkley but they met in the consolation semifinals, which is more of the bracket's fault than anything, right? I'll also say that Lucas Davison, most improved heavyweight by far. It's great to see him at that 6th place finish. Northwestern had some definite bright spots. It sucks that losing Ryan Deacon after this year, but definitely a guy to look forward to. Cassiope at 7, obviously subpar showing. That's no fault of his own. Torn MCL, did what he could. Didn't lose any bad matches. Obviously, Jordan Wood's not too bad of a loss because he only beat him 3-2 when he was healthy, right? Lost to Mason Paris while you're injured. It's nothing to hang your head on. Beat Lance 2-0, 7th, 8th place match. But Lance, D2 to D1 All-American, I think. I had my podcast a long time ago, like over a year ago. And he was saying my goal is to be an All-American, and he's done it.
Yeah.
I think it's great to see. I think there's some guys who didn't place that are going to be looking to make things right next year. I think Matt Stencil's done. I think he's one of the 2 guys to ever put bonus points on Mason Paris. That's crazy. The other being Gable Steveson. I think Zach Elam from Mizzou has a lot to prove. Trent Hilger is going to come back, make things right.
And sadly, we say goodbye to the legend himself, Gas Tank Gary.
Oh man,
Gas Tank Gary, you're my favorite heavyweight ever. Yes, just what a career.
Yeah, I think it's sad to see Orndorff go out the way he did too, but I'll let you give your little speech.
Gas Tank Gary, you never deserved the treatment you got. You really showed up this year, and I know you didn't prove it at nationals, but it had a great year. I mean, nobody could deny, when you started off at CKLV, you looked really good. You looked like it was time to shine. So, I think you battled in a tough bracket, one of the more loaded brackets. So thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you for talking to us. And this is a big, this is towards the end of the episode. So we just want to thank all the guys who have, who have wrestled this tournament and, whose careers are over. Thank you to everybody who believed in us just as much as we believed in you. So
yeah, I think a special thanks to Brian Deacon for coming on. Obviously a guy who didn't have to, could just easily said no. Evan Wick too, as they're closing out their career as All-Americans and national champ. Taylor Venz is a big one.
Yep.
Do we have to run through episodes now? We might have to.
Christian Lance, thank you as well.
Christian Lance going out your career as an All-American is actually absolutely fantastic to see. I want to say Hilger has another year.
Yeah. But shout out to you
Um,
anyway.
yeah. Oh man, there's so many people.
So many. Kirk, shout out to Kirk.
Kirk Fleet, great finish. My man Don Bradley, Jacob Casper, Zach Elam,
Zach Elam.
Pat Brucky.
Pat Brucky. Shout out to Pat Brucky as
Oh
well.
man, who are some other college guys? That might be it.
Luis Fernandez.
Oh, he's a freshman though. Yeah, Luis Fernandez had a great tournament too.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to everybody who, like I said, everybody who believed in us as much as we believe in you. You know, we appreciate it, and we hope to, you know, have more of you guys, more of these All-Americans, more of these people, you know, to believe in us. Because I mean, you know, we're young, we're just starting out, and we want to thank all you guys. I mean, like you said earlier, I mean, they got a random DM on Instagram from two at the time 18-year-old guys, you know, with a dream, and they believed in us. And
17
you know,
shit.
Yeah, 17 and 18. I mean, you know, they believed in us and they trusted us to, you know, sit here and talk. You know, it wasn't even, you know, they took the time out of their days, you know, and most of those videos were long. Like Wick, Deacon, like those were hour plus videos that they sat here and they talked with us. And, you know, just to give us their time, you know, we obviously appreciate it. And that's what I was talking about earlier, like just like the household names, you know, that are, you know, graduating this year and their wrestling careers are coming to an end. Like we appreciate all you guys. So
Yeah.
especially
Again, you know. I'm sorry. I'll let you. I won't cut you off. Go.
Oh no, I'm over.
All right,
I'm
but
done.
you know, to you high school guys that are brought on, you know, I think just like the college guys are. No, that's if I brought you on as a high schooler, dude, we believe in
We're
you.
looking forward.
You
Yeah,
know,
we
Noah
believe in you.
Pettigrew, Christian Carroll, Nick Feldman, Chase Horn, Keontae Hamilton, all those guys did. You have bright futures ahead. So definitely something to look out for next year.
But no, we look forward to talking to a lot of you guys in the future. You know, as you make your transition from high school to college, like we look forward to talking to you guys. I mean, big shout out to Debo as well.
Tyree.
I don't know if Tyree Carter as well. His career, a legendary career. You know, I feel like this was good to end this video because, you know, the season is over. So, you know, we like to just give a little shout out to everybody. Especially Tyree, 3-time national champ, Texas A&M. You know, everybody. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for you believed in me. You know, back a year and a half ago, you believed in me, you know, to bring me on to help you do what you do here, you know, run this empire. And I appreciate it for you giving me the opportunity. Yeah. Because you gave me an opportunity that I didn't need. So I appreciate you as well.
Yeah. So you know, the season's over, guys. We're at the end of our starts page after 2019 season. 2020 not the way it did. 2021 was fun. You know, this is really the first real season that I've been able to cover. So thank you guys for sticking along with us throughout the ride. Off-season grind continues, but this has been episode 89 of Late Night Shots, and we'll see you guys again next time.